2024, first day meeting of the year. Please join me at the pledges. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor to Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas. One state, under God, one indivisible. Mr. Brunjet's going to lead us in prayer.
Please join me as I pray. Again, Father, we thank you for the blessings of this day. We pause at the beginning of this meeting to ask your presence here today to preside over all of us, not just the judge and the gavel and the business of this county, but all of our lives. And Lord, we stand at the gate of a new year, and there's a great unknown out there in 2024, and we really don't know what lies ahead. And we wonder what path we should take and who we should believe and who we should trust. And it's like the poem that said, we need to step boldly into the unknown and put our hand in your hand and venture, because you know, and you know our needs, you know our desires, and you know the situation ahead, and you are totally trustworthy. So we just give you this day. We place this county in your hands for 2024. And we just pray that all of us would be committed to place our hand in yours and venture boldly into it. First, in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney,
Here.
Commissioner Casterline,
Here.
Commissioner Russo. Here. Commissioner Dupnick,
Here.
and Judge Gottesall.
Here, we've got a full quorum. At this time, section 4, citizens be heard. We've got one signed up, Miss Blanche Dean. And when you walk up, please state your name and your address.
My
Appreciate
name
it.
is Blanche Dean. I live at 1511 Monkey Road. It's improved the last 3 days. I think he's kind of getting the message, but I'm not going to let up. I'm talking about the gentleman across the street. And after I left here, the last time I started journaling everything every day, because it's consistently. I'm going to start with December the 15th because I didn't get to have a Christmas. At 10:30 p.m., the music's loud again. He plays the bass so loud that it's reverberating through my house. 11:40, the bass thumping again. December 16th at 5:30 a.m., he's busting the windows out of the cars of his drug dealers. I mean, he literally busted all his friends' windows out with a pipe at 5:30 in the morning. I called, but when I called the police, somebody had already called. They had called on them himself. And I know he's habitual, and he has been for quite a few many years, is what all the neighbors have told me. And I'm standing up for the neighborhood. There's some neighbors that don't want to come forward because they can't. They have a business. There's kids involved. So I'm speaking for the neighborhood. At December the 18th, the gunshots. December the 20th, an explosion at 2 a.m. The police were called, said he didn't know the can was in the barrel. Well, how many times has the police department been out there? And I'm just learning the law, how the law works out there, that he's not supposed to be burning after dark. Even before this started, he was burning after dark, and I think he's throwing bullets into the fire, because you're hearing all this popping. At December the 20th, 10 a.m., the music's loud. December the 21st, 12:30 a.m. December the 21st, I called the police. Let's see. There was another gentleman that came by that afternoon. He comes by on a bicycle and he stops in front of my house, and he's preparing himself to go past that property because of the dogs. And the gentleman has a baseball bat in his backpack. And so anytime that there's any confrontation there with that gentleman, he comes out and threatens to kill anybody that comes by there. I've heard him. I've seen him. There's actually 2 gentlemen that come by there. Another man that walks his dog that is terrified to go by there. So he stops at the trash place across the street from me to try to find a stick to defend himself from them dogs. December 21st, 12:30 a.m., the music. 21st, the police called. 9:30 p.m., the blonde girl's coming down from the other end of the street to buy drugs. This happens all the time. It's kind of slowed down since the article was printed in the paper. Is Mr. Prost in here this morning?
Not yet.
December the 31st, 4 o'clock in the morning. He's up making noise. He comes to the corner of the fence, catty-cordy to my property, and he's sitting there banging on a hammer at 4 o'clock in the morning. And then he starts barking like a dog to get my dogs riled up, and they're on the front porch. I keep them in all night. At 4:30 in the morning, the 31st, I don't know if he's using gunpowder or something that he's lighting, and it sounds like thunder. Because when he lights it, it. At 5:30 in the morning, that gold Tahoe shows up and it comes down the street. I guess they had some major mechanical problems because it sounded like he was dragging a transmission or some more trash into there. January the 2nd, the banging. The electric saw at 5:30 a.m. He's walking back and forth from 4th Street to his house. The neighbor next to me keeps his dogs, so the dogs hear him, see him, and so there's no peace there. During the day, a black truck pulls out of there with out-of-state plates. He's there to buy drugs. January the 3rd, he's making noise at 1:30 a.m. again, and at 3 o'clock. January the 4th, at 2 o'clock in the morning, he's up making noise again at the corner of the yard. The neighbors at this point across next to me and across from him has taken the dogs in because he's outside so much because he never sleeps. He's on drugs 24/7. The guy never sleeps.
Thumbs up, thumbs up.
Um,
Ma'am, I'm sorry, time's up.
I would like to say one thing. That on December the 29th, this is before the oxychemical spill. He was burning something so toxic that I could not even go outside and stay out there. I called the police. They said they were too busy to get out there. And then another officer called me back about 15 minutes later and said, do you still smell the smell? And I said, hold on, sir, let me go back out. And sure enough, you could still smell it. It was so bad that it gave me a headache.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, we're going to move on to section 5, presentations and proclamations. Number 1, presentation from the Coastal Bend Disaster Recovery Group, Long-Term Recovery and Disaster Management. Mr. Brandt. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Christopher Brandt. I'm the Executive Director for Coastal Bend Disaster Recovery Group. And today I just wanted to I'm going around to the different counties, just letting them know, reminding them of what we do and what we have done. Coastal Bend Disaster Recovery Group is a long-term recovery group for the 11 counties of the Coastal Bend. And the reason why we're regional is because disasters do not stop at county lines, as we all know. What is long-term recovery? So one of the things I think that it's hard for people to understand about CBDRG is long-term recovery, which means we don't do the immediate response. We do the response that takes much longer. I like to think of it as like when a disaster happens, there's people that go out and cut trees. That's really important. They go out and save lives, cut trees, make sure people can get around town. They might put a tarp on. But what long-term recovery does is we try to help the individuals recover so that the recovery is a permanent solution that will last over 15 years. So instead of tarping it or putting a patch on a roof, we might actually replace a roof make sure it meets TWIA certification so that they can get insurance, so that hopefully the next time there's a disaster that they'll have resources available to recover on their own. And that takes time, and I know it's frustrating for everybody, but it's just part of the process of recovery. Our mission is to strengthen regional long-term recovery by addressing and jointly resolving unmet disaster-related needs of individuals in the county. The important word there is jointly. I know I stand here as the executive director for Coastal Bend Disaster Recovery Group, but think of us as an umbrella where other nonprofits can come together and help resolve disasters together. For example, we might have Mennonites Disaster Services. They might provide volunteer labor. We might have another group like, say, Samaritan's Purse. They might provide us with funding. And then our job is to take these different organizations, help them work and cooperate together so that we can help people with their recovery. Disasters become larger and larger. It seems like, and more destructive, as we all saw with Harvey. And so it's bigger than one organization can handle. And that's what we do, is we try to help other organizations work together to solve the problems. What is an unmet need? It's a basic need. It's safe, sanitary, and secure. I like to say we're not granite countertops, we're Formica countertops, but you need a countertop to eat safely and secure. It might be just a regular door, just might be a regular roof, but we're to try to get the people back to a safe, sanitary, and secure level of living. And who receives assistance from CBDRG? Our clients include homeowners who are considered low income, socially vulnerable, the elderly, single head of household with maybe a minor child, somebody that might be disabled, dishonorably discharged veteran, but basically the people that lack the resources to recover on their own. And that's why long-term recovery takes so long, is we're not here to supplement insurance companies or FEMA. We help these individuals get the money that they deserve from those organizations. And only after all those things have been exhausted do we step in and then try to help them with their recovery. So we started in 2015. And we started with the flood in Nueces, Jim Wells County. And then 2017, right when we were just about done with the flood, Harvey hits. And then during our Hurricane Harvey recovery, we had, of course, the Texas severe winter storm in 2020. And then our organization is made up of 7 parts, which we have donations, construction, disaster case management, unmet needs roundtable. That's where the different organizations come together to help people. Spiritual and emotional care, grant writing, and communication. Just to kind of show the success of the organization and everybody that participated through our long-term recovery, we were able to get $54.7 million in total resources to our clients. Most of that, I will be honest, is from the GLO HAP program, where we were able to get them houses through the General Land Office. We had over 170,000 volunteer hours, and that saved us $3.4 million in construction. And 90% of the volunteers hours that we had came from outside the state of Texas. They were from Mennonites Disaster Services or CPS, Christian Public Services, that came from outside the area to come down here to help with our recovery. And today we have 424 of our clients receive brand new homes that all meet TWIA certification, that are designed to handle winds up to 143 miles an hour. So we're hoping these individuals won't need assistance the next time there's a disaster. Last year we received a governor's award for excellence in disaster volunteerism. And we also received the gold transparency from Candid, which means that we took we have an independent audit and different things like that to make sure that our organization is transparent and that all the money gets spent appropriately. Where CBRG is right now, we're in sustainability, which means we're at a minimum level because we have completed all of our disasters. The reason why we want to keep our doors open is because it allows the community to receive resources that it would not normally receive. In other words, if a disaster strikes, people are more willing to donate during the disaster or at the disaster. And so if we're there available to receive donations, then that means more money for the community. It also decreases the time that the vulnerable population has to recover, and it also decreases waste. And by waste, I mean people receive funds, they don't know where to tackle their recovery. And so sometimes they spend things in the wrong order, like they might repair the sheetrock before they repair the roof, I think is the best way to put it. So what we do is we help them come up with a recovery plan that makes sense, and then we try to fill in the gaps that they need. And so that's where we're at right now. We're, like I said, we're at a low staffing point. And I always feel like a vulture when the next disaster will hit. And since we've been around for 9 years and we've had 3 disasters, it seems like when you have 11 counties, it seems like you're always going to be facing a disaster at some point. Okay, does anybody have any questions for me or?
I do. I have a couple.
Mhm.
Thank you for your report and your explanation that you're at a lower level right now because fortunately,
Yes,
we've been blessed in that we've not had any disasters here recently. I'm curious, what is the number of staff members that you have?
myself.
And you're the executive director? And how do people, if they currently need help, how do they know about your organization so they can access you?
Well, we only respond to a disaster. And so we've exhausted all of our funding for all of the disasters that we currently have. But if a disaster, actually, let me take this back. If a person has a need, let's say their house burned down or they can't pay their electric bill or any type of thing and they don't know what to do, I always tell them call 211. 211 is a service that's provided to the area that will help them try to match up a need. So if you had a house, like say during Harvey or the winter freeze, you could call 211 and they would direct you to us. If it was problems with your electric bill or something, they might refer you to another agency that's handling that. They keep the most current list of who's providing services in the area. And so I would always.
So there's not really much going on at your
No,
facility now? at
no,
all?
we've actually completed all of our disaster recovery. We've exhausted all of those funds.
Okay, and I have another question.
Mhm.
Looking at the board of directors in this handout that you just gave us,
Mhm.
I don't see where Aransas County is represented. I see.
Well,
Jim
this
Wells.
was that was during Harvey and right now John Jackson is on our board. He's currently on our board and he was actually on our board at the time of Harvey.
Yes, I know he was, but I
And
didn't
so-
see him on your list.
Right. So so when this was published, this was just a list of the time that it was published, but he was on our executive board or our board of directors through most of Harvey recovery, like over 2019. Danielle Hale, she's the emergency manager, but she's also lives in Rockport.
No, I know Miss Hale,
Yeah.
but she is there as a representative of the Port of Corpus Christi.
No, no, I think she'll fight you on that. She'll say that she's actually there as a representative of Aransas. She has really deep roots here in Rockport. And so because we help individuals, the port's not really an individual. So they're there to represent the people that the residences that they live in. So we have, so that's why she's from Rockport. We just put down that she's the emergency manager just because she understands disaster recovery.
Well, and because she is.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What type of funding do you have now to operate? You're an executive director. Are you a full-time director or is that a title?
Well, I'm kind of in the process of winding down. We're hoping at some point to get some funding to keep the position available. It just depends. Most of our disaster recovery money came from multiple sources. A lot of it came from outside the area. Some of it came from here. I know that there was a lot of generous donors in the area that provided us funding. So right now we're in the process of trying to find funding to sustain the organization into the future. If we should go a while without funding and out of disaster, then we would probably have to go from one person to just volunteer. And so, that's the challenge. We don't receive any federal, state, county money. And so all of ours has been just through donations.
Thank you. Appreciate what y'all have done.
Oh, you're very welcome. And like I said, we should all be proud because our organization is only a symbol of the area. And the city of Rockport, the county of Aransas and the other counties all played major roles in our success. Everybody has been working really well together, and I think our community should take great pride in the fact that we don't squabble about, who's getting help, who's not getting help, but that we all try to help together. And whenever we have people from outside the area, that's the thing that they'd always say is, I'm amazed at how well you folks work together. And so I want to thank the communities for being so supportive.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll move on to section number 6, the consent agenda.
To approve the consent agenda?
I'll second that.
Got a motion, got a second, and I believe Ms. Griffith, you wanted to speak on this?
Yes, good morning. I just wanted to take a minute to, thank you for approving the final tree ordinance back in late November. And also just let you know that going forward, we've now rounded out the committee again. And our focus is going to be on some administrative issues with the environmental department and getting their forms and data up to date after the change. And then also to focus on publicity and promotion of the tree ordinance so that we can get visibility and hopefully get ahead of the game instead of behind the game on it. And that's going to be our focus for this next year. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Commissioner,
I just want to say one thing. The tree ordinances, they have been very diligent in trying to make this a better ordinance as we went. It's been at least a year, maybe 2 years on getting everything done. And I'm anxious to see how Miss Lonnie does on it. She's very graciously stepped up and said that she would participate in this very good deal. But I just want to thank y'all, Debbie, for all the work that y'all done, because I know y'all put hours after hours in on that. I don't think the legal department, who's not here right now, but Jen, we spent a lot of time on that and looking forward to a bright future.
All right. Nothing further. Let's go and vote.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
and Judge Gladstone.
Aye. 5-0 passes.
Do
We'll
you
move
want
on to oh, yes, ma'am.
Introduce the names.
Oh, would you like to introduce the newest member of the tree committee? Oh,
Would you
at
go to the
podium,
microphone,
please.
Debbie?
Yeah.
Yes, would like to introduce the newest member who's representing Jack Cheney's precinct. It's Lonnie Matthews. She has been deeply involved in community matters really since 1995, but was really integral to a lot of environmental committees, kind of what began as the Pathways, Aransas Pathways long ago, and really think that she is going to have a lot of good input to help us spread the word and get the tree ordinance, enforced better. So I didn't know if Lonnie wanted to say anything or not, but we greatly welcome her.
Thank you for the opportunity. Obviously, you all know that I have been very involved in the environmental issues in this county. So another chance to get on with it. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, move on to item number 4.
I move to approve the repeal and replacement of Resolution R 24-2011, resolution to establish an Aransas Pathway Steering Committee with Resolution R 30-2023A or amended, revised resolution to establish Aransas Pathway Steering Committee to amend definitions and procedures to provide for severability, repealer, and establish an effective date.
Second.
Got a motion and a second.
I've got a question on the back page of this document. It has a list of voting members. And the first two, it lists the chair, but it says at large, the chair and the vice chair. It will give you an impression that those officers are picked from at-large members. I really think on that list, you should just strike the chair and the vice chair. And if it appears that there are two positions there that are at-large positions, but those two offices would not necessarily be filled from only the at-large. And my assumption is that makes a total of 3 at-large positions. It just, the way it's typed on there with number 1 being the chair and the number 2 being the vice chair, that doesn't seem.
So you just want to take out the at-large?
I think he wants to take out the chair and the
Well,
vice chair.
Oh,
But the members of apparently there are 3 at-large
Right.
members on it, so I would say just strike the chair and the vice chair off of it. But you have 3 at-large members plus the other named sources where the members come from.
And they'll just pick the chair and the vice chair from whomever.
Yeah.
so that
it
possibly,
says
I
in
guess,
there,
we
the committee
represent- Yeah.
picks the chair and the vice chair from ever. I think, at least to me, it gave me the perception that those 2 offices would be picked from only the at-large members of the committee.
would you like to amend? You have to measure motion for that, or?
I will, I don't know if I need to amend the motion, but I'll just amend the proposed resolution R 30-2023A so that when it shows the voting members on the 3rd page, it will just show that there are 3 separate at-large positions and then representatives from the county, the city of Rockport, the town of Fulton, and then specialists in marketing outreach, building, history, trails, and kayaking.
Second.
All right. Any further discussion? All right, let's go and vote.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
and Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Awesome. Got that. Let's move on to item number 5.
Move that we discuss the 5-star award acknowledging vital statistics partners who understand the importance of vital statistics and their impact on citizens of Texas. The award honors partners who go above and beyond the duties of birth and death registration by attending training and keeping up with the latest legislation and trends. Present the 5-star award to Crystal Powell, Deputy County Clerk, Vital Statistics, and the other official public records clerks. Nita Solis, Chief Deputy County Clerk, Angela Picarazzi, Deputy County Clerk, who contributed to this award as well.
I'll second that.
Got a motion, got a second. Morning, Madam Clerk.
This 5-star award is given by the Texas Department of State Health Services Vital Statistics Section. The Aransas County Clerk's Office has only received this award 6 other times. Only 52 out of the 254 counties received this award. That's 4.9% met the requirements to receive it this year. Crystal Powell is our Vital Statistics Clerk, and she is mostly responsible for this award. As with everything, nothing is accomplished completely alone. There are 2 other clerks, Nita Solis, who's our Chief Deputy, and Angela Picarazzi, who can't be here today because her son's getting tubes in his ears. I have an awesome staff that gives amazing customer service every single day. Our jobs are not simple or easy, and they all do a great job every day with every customer. And I just wanted to take a moment to publicly thank them for that.
Well done.
Well done.
Thank-
Thanks.
Congratulations.
We would like a picture if that's okay.
Oh, yeah. Do we need a vote?
It was just.
Okay. All right, no action.
So
Let's move on to number 6.
I move to discuss budget savings recognized by revisions to the detention center meals menu, all while retaining the daily nutritional objectives, resulting in a 24-cent reduction in cost per tray, 17,958 average number of trays per month, with a possible savings of $4,309 per month, nearly $50,000 per year.
Second.
So during budget discussions, we go over all these lines and started looking at costs. And so I got with the jail staff and decided to look at the menu again, because when you look back over the historical data that I think is on the chart, back to 2013, we were in the 85 to 90 cent range, and then did see in 22 an increase. This year we had gotten, like I said, the first 8 months of this year, we were doing $1.09 a tray. Held off until now till we had 3 months of historical data to look at, but we've cut that cost back down, like I said, to an 85-cent range per tray. And that's an average cost, and barring any crop failure or something in this next year that would drive the prices, it will equate to about a $50,000 savings. And as budget conscious as the court had been during that, I thought I'd bring it to your attention now that that's underway. We couldn't speak about it at the time because it was preliminary and didn't know what success we had had, but we do cut the thing. We have to get it approved by the jail commission and by a dietitian. So it's all been done and approved, and wasn't the most popular thing that occurred in the jail, but we've done it a couple of times over the 15 years and continue to keep it in check. Just wanted to bring that to your attention.
I'm curious, Sheriff, what's on a plate for that little bit of money?
Plate.
It's a variety. There's a set menu that rotates daily. It's either we do buy beef patties, we buy chicken patties. It'll range from cold sandwiches occasionally to hot meals 2 out of the 3 days, if not all 3 days. But the objective is really, I believe they should have one meal that's not a hot meal, that's sandwiches and such. That's what we do at home, and that's what your school does, and service people and everybody else. I don't think they should be eating better than the average person in here this morning or in the community that pays that bill.
This is really impressive with the cost of providing food nowadays to families. So thank y'all for what you did.
I'll pass it along.
Appreciate it, Sheriff. Thank you. We'll move on to item number 7 since you're up there.
Move to discuss the intoxilizer equipment graphs and numbers, and no action needed on this.
This was just informational.
Correct. Yes, sir. It was in response to a discussion we had a couple of meetings ago where we were approving the cost that we share with Sampac County. And at the time, there were some questions raised as to who all used it and what percent. And the average, I think you got that round chart that was in the handout. And we average around 126 to 130 tests a year that are here in the county. And I think there's 5 agencies they show that are utilizing it, but I will clarify that the officers for the school district, those are probably when they were with the Rockwood PD. I don't know that they've taken 5 people from the school for an intoxilizer. But it was just to share some statistical information, the questions that.
No, I was very interested in this, and I appreciate your sending it. And I believe you said that we bear the sum for the whole county. Is
We
that
do.
correct?
Correct.
So looking at this, ours apparently is about 4% of the use.
Of the total, yes.
And then DPS is 40%, The Rockport PD is about 28%. And then the school district and Parks and Wildlife each come in about 8%. So I would say if there's some way for us to look at sharing this cost with the agencies that are certainly using this more than we're using it, would be a good thing to do.
Well, I think one avenue would be the MOUs that we have with, like Rockport and Fulton as well for the jail use in the contract we have there. It could drive that cost
I
when that
appreciate,
time comes up.
So we'll take that to the county attorney.
Yeah, you can. Work it into those when those MOUs come due for renewal.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you.
thank you. All right, move on item number 8.
I move to approve the final plat proposed by Metropole LLC to replat 2582 RFM 1069 and 2502-2560 FM 1069 into the Lucas Ranch subdivision, lots 1 to 124.
I'll second that.
Got a motion, got a second. Good morning, Mr. Reed.
Good morning. This is the subdivision at the intersection of Cape Blair Road and 1069. I'm sure y'all have driven by and looked at it. It's complied with our subdivision regulations and they're ready for final plat approval. Staff recommends approval.
So there are, after this combination, 124 lots. Does that mean 124 households?
I would assume if they sell that, yeah.
Right? And the information that the city, well, the developer extended water service to the development. Does that mean there will be no OSSF?
You have sewer for everything now, yeah.
It actually reads it gives you the impression when you read it, that the sewer only goes to the smaller lots.
No.
That's
Right.
That's kind of
I was,
the impression you get from the way it's worded. That
I was reading that also, the same thing, but
it looks real good. I'm sure Mr. Kruger is ready to get on to his next project.
I think he is.
He's had a lot of bumps in the road, you might say.
Right.
So are they going to begin the actual construction soon?
Of the infrastructure.
Well, I've
of the
seen the roads
houses.
going up out there.
Yeah. Yeah, they are pretty close to finish with the infrastructure. I think they're pretty close to wanting to build houses, correct? You got some lots sold yet? Waiting on this.
I think one interesting thing about this subdivision, and I hope I'm not misquoting on this, all of the streets in this subdivision are named after men who lost their lives in war that were from Aransas County.
That's a very nice gesture. Does Mr. Kruger want to speak to the court? Well, he was talking to a
He's
couple of the
almost-
commissioners before court began. I just wondered if he had information he wanted to share. You have to go to the microphone, please.
I have to say, David and Kat and everybody from Road and Bridge have always been very
Go ahead and
supportive.
identify
Bubba and everybody. We've been welcome here. We did our best to do a good job. The city has inspected everything. We've passed all our bacteria tests and everything. The water's live. And we've already got neighbors tying into the water system. We have the possibility to have all the neighbors tie into the sewer system. Reimbursement agreement is in place with the city. Everything is ready to go. We're only waiting for a little bit of hot weather so we can put asphalt on the roads, and that might be a couple of weeks or months. What do you want, 80 degrees?
80 degrees.
80 degrees is in the forecast for tomorrow, David.
Sustained.
But it could be 40 tomorrow night.
Yeah. We need that 80 degrees to
Yes.
sustain for a little while.
We did increase also. The lift station is very big.
Yes, it is.
And so we have the possibility to tie almost double what we've got on site into that lift station. And so it is a long-term development for the county. We tied all of our ponds into the drainage system. We've got a lot of retention capacity extra. Also, we didn't cut down any trees. They're all still there. And I think it opens up a lot of possibilities for a lot of people around us. So.
No, I'm very appreciative of the work that you've done to date. And as a member of the tree committee, I'm appreciative of the fact that you didn't cut down any trees.
Thank you very much. And thank you for David and everybody else that has been very supportive. I can't have asked for better partners in the county or anywhere else. It's been a good experience.
It was nice working with you.
Thank you, Dave.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Anything else?
much.
Anything else?
No other questions? Let's vote.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
and Judge Goddison.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 9.
Move to approve the request to solicit a request for proposals for a disaster recovery company to coordinate with the county staff to oversee the recovery efforts in the immediate aftermath of a catastrophic event.
I'll second that.
Got a motion, got a second. Good morning, Mr. Gear. This was a holdover from last meeting because we had a little typo, but
Right, I was out for that meeting, but would have been available online if we'd have needed it. Are there any questions on why we're doing this or what's involved?
I think Jackie explained last time that the contract we'd approved a year or so ago, maybe 2 years ago, was never finalized.
Exactly. It was last year. It was never finalized. It was approved, the commissioners approved to the contractor, but they never did sign the contract.
all right. No questions. Let's go to vote.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Goddison.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 10.
I move to approve authorizing the airport manager to publish a request for proposal for a bulk aviation fuel provider.
I'll second that.
Got a motion, got a second. Good morning, Mr. Gear.
Uh,
Again,
Good morning. Okay, so what I'm asking for here is currently we don't have a contract for bulk fuel provisions at the airport. Our for the 10 years or so that I've been here and before that for a time, we've been buying our fuel exclusively from AvFuel. They're the Exxon Mobil of aviation fuel, so they're pretty much on every airport for the most part, but there are other providers. But for me, the reason that I brought this forward is because we're getting toward the end of the expected life of one of our fuel trucks, and those are pretty expensive if you buy them outright. So we're not currently eligible to broker a deal or get a deal brokered for a fuel truck through our fuel provider without having a contract in place. And all a contract does is just that ensures that we're going to buy our fuel only from that one supplier. And I follow fuel prices from other suppliers, Shell, Phillips 66, and Epic, and they're all within a couple of cents of each other every single week. There's no, and usually our current supplier is the cheapest, but there's no big difference in that would make me say, okay, that it's worth, a few $1,000s at the end of every year to go with this one supplier over another. So we'd be branded under whatever fuel supplier we choose through this RFP process. But the main thing it gets us the ability to purchase a fuel truck either through lease or lease to purchase or purchase outright with them finding us a fuel truck. And I think that's important because those things are pretty expensive if you just go out and buy one straight out. So there are other ancillary or not even ancillary. I think they're quite important. There are other benefits from being under contract with a fuel supplier, not the least of which is the ability to process credit cards. Training opportunities are available. Currently with AvFuel, we get some pretty high level training for our airport attendants, and it's basically just a caveat. So I would like to, or I'm asking for permission to go out and put an RFP out and over a month and a half or so, get bids and then come back and through a panel or a scoring system, ask for permission to sign a contract with whichever one we feel like is the best.
And just to clarify, this all comes out of airport funds. It doesn't come out of the county general fund.
There's no cost for the RFP, but all the fuel is purchased from the airport fund. Yes, sir.
All right, if there are no further questions, go and vote.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
and Judge Scudason.
Aye, passes 5-0.
Move
Item
to
number
approve-
11.
Move to approve hiring M&M Asphalt and Paving to perform airport paving repairs at a cost of $17,500.
I'll second that.
I brought this to the commissioners and asked for a request to allow me to take quotes. I felt like this was going to come in under the RFP threshold. It did. All the quotes were about $25,000 or less. M&M is the cheapest, all things considered. I'm asking for permission to move forward with M&M for the repairs. There are more repairs that need to happen. This is just one thing that we're doing. Commissioner Castelline, a few months back, you asked me to take a look into what it would take to get these hangars that have already been built but are just sitting there unused, to get those kind of tied into the ramp so we could start using them. With this will do it. It doesn't mean we can use the hangars, but it means that on day one of their availability, we'll be able to use the hangars. Then the larger scope of work for pavement, we're going to come back and RFP that at a later date.
All right.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Scudason.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 12.
I move to approve authorizing environmental health transfer station to reseek bids for a 2024 brush grinding contract. Only 2 bids were received in December, and both bids were more than double the cost of the previous year's awarded contract.
I'll second that.
Got a motion, got a second. Mrs. Morales couldn't be here today. And so this is pretty self-explanatory. Like, we're gonna seek rebids. Go and vote. Unless you have
Commissioner
questions.
Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Scudason.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 13.
I move to approve the change order number 2 for construction contract for Loop 1781 road improvements on the Community Development Block Grant Disaster Relief contract number 20-065-098-C270 to LCR Total Transport LLC. Change order increases the contract time by 60 days with no increase in the dollar amount.
I'll second that.
Got a motion, got a second. Mr. Reed.
Why does this need to be extended?
In a nutshell, they're not finished yet.
Oh.
The issue really is.
Just cut to the chase, Dave.
Is the rideability of 1781 is not to a point that I'm willing to accept the road as a county road.
Good.
They're working towards getting it that way, but takes time. It's a specialized contractor that they need to help with the smoothness of that. But that's the main reason for the delay.
Okay, now, refresh my memory. That's actually a farm to market road now, right?
No.
No, this is a county road,
Uh,
Loop 1781. The section from Airport Road back around
okay.
to
Okay.
35
Okay.
business.
That's the one that the county bailed on. I mean, not the county, but the city bailed on us.
No.
Irregardless. Okay.
You're not expecting me to answer that question?
No,
right?
no, no. I really shouldn't ask it, but anyway, so that's what it is, huh?
Yes.
Okay, good.
And David, this is only time. They're not gonna come
Only
back and
time.
say they're overhead. Okay,
This is not money.
okay.
Okay, and you said, and maybe you answered the question then, this is from Business 35 going like past Camp Aransas Zoo to a certain location.
Yes,
Airport
around Ranzasoo, past the airport, tying into Airport Road.
Okay,
And this also, they did end up, we had them do additional work as far as putting safety end treatments on the culverts, right?
Yeah, there was some other change orders that we've already approved. Safety and treatments was probably the big one.
is this going to cause them to put down that, I don't know what the correct term is, but like the spray concrete? Because there were complaints from the folks who lived out there about damage to their vehicles.
They have asphalt, hot mix
Yes.
asphalt now, and I don't
They're
think,
not going to pull that up and put down that other material?
That was part of the road base they were putting in.
yeah,
That complaint was when they were cement stabilized.
Right.
right, that we've passed that. Now, how they're going to fix it, I can't tell you exactly yet. They're still trying to get a contractor that does this type of work specifically. My guess is they'll mill it and take the bumps out and make the road smoother.
That would be
Probably,
good.
probably not go down to base or anything like that.
All right. Thank you.
Have commissioners, have y'all been on that road yet?
Yes.
Okay, so y'all know what we're talking about.
Yes.
It's not as smooth as we would like it to be,
It's not as smooth as
Exactly.
the other part that was
right?
prepared.
It is smoother than it was.
It's smoother than it was.
All right, well,
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
and Judge Carson.
aye, passes 5-0. Item number 14.
Move to accept the approved as-built drawings for Coconut Heights road improvements in the county's general land office, community development block grant, disaster relief, contract number 20-065-098-C270, and authorize the county judge to sign a letter of as-built approval.
Second.
Would you explain this a little,
Got a
David?
motion, got a second.
Because these drawings are very technical.
Okay, so, we had drawings that were bid and during the project, there were changes. We added this, we added that. There may have been a change order that we brought to court. I'm sure there was. The as-built is taking those original plans and then modifying them to include things that changed during the contract, during the construction. And that's what these as-built are. They were prepared by Mott McDonald based on the changes that we made and sent back to us for review. And so we're happy with them.
So they're showing the improvements that we approved with previous change orders.
Yes. So
All right.
the
Thank you.
plans are showing what exactly was built.
And no cost?
No,
That's good.
This is just an engineering practice, basically.
it is. Yeah. Standard practice.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Carson.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 15.
I move to approve accepting Coconut Heights road improvement in the county's general land office, community development block grant, disaster relief contract number 20-065-098-C270 as complete and authorize county judge to sign a certificate of construction completion.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second.
And this is the last step in completing the project, I guess. It is complete. It's time to let the judge put his signature on it and say it is complete.
You've been out there, you checked everything, it's all good to go.
All good to go.
This is where we drove right before Christmas, maybe,
Probably, yeah.
around Sparks Colony and
Yeah.
there.
All right.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Carson.
Aye, passes 5-0. Thank you, David. Appreciate it. Item number 16.
I move to approve the December 2023 indigent healthcare report.
I'll second that.
Got a motion, got a second. Warner, Madam Treasurer.
I don't know if it's a question, but on the reverse, the prescription drugs 93 for the month, correct, for inmates? And I know that either you or. Right,
Ellen,
yeah,
we are still, the jail, Hector is still looking to try to find a different, pharmacy provider in the jail because they've gotten extremely high on us.
Yeah, that was what I was going to ask, because either you or Sarita had mentioned
Right.
we're looking at doing that, and that's still ongoing.
We're still looking.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alma. It's good to see you.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Hi.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Scottson.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 17.
I move to approve changes in job description for executive assistant and records clerk for the sheriff's office, adding supervisory duties to the executive assistants to oversee the records clerk.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second. Good morning.
Good morning. So it's just minor changes to the job description, but I'll let the sheriff speak on the reasoning for it. Or Brooks.
This is just giving our record or executive assistant supervisory over our records clerk so she can keep track on what she's doing and make sure that our records are being maintained and updated in the system and we're getting our NIBRS reports done.
Any additional changes in salary or step?
No, sir.
All right. Sounds good to me. Gonna vote.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Hi.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Scottson.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 18.
Move to approve a posted job description for construction maintenance inspector 2 at pay group 21, David Reed.
I've got a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, got a second.
So
Morning.
again, this is just a minor change. So we added a new job position. It's copying the first job description basically and adding just a couple changes. And I'll let David speak to the reasoning.
Okay, so I'm asking for a new position called Inspector 2. We have Inspector 1. I'd like to have some flexibility to promote our inspector as we move forward.
And when you changed the job description, did you add additional certifications? that are
There's
required?
not certifications that have changed, but there is more duties based on having more control over what's going on in the field, making changes as needed, things like that.
So it appears if he's on site, he sees something, he can get it corrected without having to make a bunch of phone calls and things. And
Right.
Is this a new position, new FTE?
It
So-
is a new position in that it is a promotion for an old position. You know, right
Right.
now we have Inspector 1 and it has no place to go other than just regular step raises.
The inspector want to say they get promoted. Are you gonna fill Inspector 1 then after that, or is it
Probably.
just, okay?
There will probably be a time that we don't use this position at all. You know, this is largely a function of all the construction projects we got underway.
I think it's a good idea to have some sort of a career track.
Yes,
Yes.
sir. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
aye.
Judge Scottson.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 19.
I move to approve the budget line item transfers for the 2024 budget.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second? All right,
Sorry, we have none at this time.
thank you,
Commissioner
Jackie.
Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline, Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Scottson.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 20.
Move to approve accounts payable on payroll 11.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second?
I have a question. I didn't receive a list of the accounts payable.
I'll have to check on that, Commissioner, because did anybody receive them? I
Laura.
know it was
She
done
didn't
late
send it
Friday afternoon, so I will get y'all a copy of it, most definitely.
I wasn't sure we had any. I mean, I thought we probably have some bills
Mm-hmm.
to pay, but I,
Oh, yes, we've paid plenty of bills.
do you want to
Maybe
bring,
No such luck.
do you wanna
Um,
bring some to our attention?
I did want to bring a few to your attention on the capital projects. We had a check for PGAL for the courthouse project of $4,801.97. We paid Scott Electric for detention center work of $6,500. That will be going towards what we request with insurance reimbursements. Mont McDonald, on the road and drainage projects, we had a total of multiple invoices that totaled $72,196.77. We had a check for Anderson Columbia. This is the Ruby Allen Street project. And these are 4 invoices that they turned in and have gotten approved through GrantWorks.
And what was the name of the vendor?
Anderson Columbia. That check is $1,954,314.12. Dell Computers, we purchased a computer for the juvenile case manager, the new position that's under the grant. I say new position, the position under a grant, for $1,063.73, and that will be reimbursed by a grant. GrantWorks for the grant manager on the Bayshore Drive was $3,720.83. Those funds will be reimbursed by city. The city, they are reimbursing us for all the additional grant manager funds for that project. TJ Baker, or T Baker, TJ. This is ARPA funds. It's the water tank at the detention center. It was $1,567. And Teal Construction for the courthouse of $317,608.53. But I also wanted to point out some other expenses, because this is the first payroll or pay period accounts payable in the year. We do have some one-time things that are very large, and wanted to just kind of bring those to your attention. We paid TAC, our liability and auto physical damage and liability insurance, and it was 189,000 plus. I'm not sure on the exact number because it's split out between a number of funds. Fire department, each of the 3 fire departments received their annual maintenance and operations funds of $39,956 each. We had multiple software licenses that were renewed, their one-time renewals, and those went through. We also have the juvenile probation department where we help fund that for $175,083. These are one-time expenses, but they all hit in January.
Jackie?
Yes,
When
sir.
you say one time, we're not paying them out over the year. We pay them once.
No, we pay them once. We pay them the full amount in January.
Right.
Yes, sir. So it looks like when you, when you get your financials, you're gonna see we spend 100% in January. But it's because that is just a one-time charge. But, and that's all I have on that, unless anyone else has a question.
Jackie, you put out that budget on a page. We'll be getting that in our,
I have not done it yet because we're still waiting for the final invoices for December to come through.
Okay.
We have to keep everything open through February, because anything that is dated, any invoices that was ordered or purchased in December that's not invoiced until before February, we have to put those back into the current year or
So
to this
we're
year.
really looking about March. before
It'll
we're-
probably be the 1st of March before I'm able to give you an accurate one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm waiting for, is to give you something that's very accurate. And I will, my plan is to kind of look at it and maybe give you a report on what we're looking at prior to that, so that we'll just keep y'all up to date on it.
thank you.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Scottison.
Aye, passes 5-0. All right, at this time, we hear reports from commissioners, elected officials, and department heads. No action will be taken.
Judge?
Yes, we got.
Sorry.
I wanted to let the judge and commissioners know that the Airport Advisory Board met last week for their first meeting of 2024. We had a couple of new members appointed at the end of 2023, but there were elections were held, nominations and were made, and elections were held at that board meeting. And Mr. Jerry Brown was appointed the chairman Betty Stiles was appointed, or elected rather, vice chair, and then I am was voted as secretary, although I'm not a voting member of the board, but the board bylaws allow for a non-member to be the secretary. So that's how it shook out. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Duke.
I'd like to take a moment to recognize our road and bridge department. There was a letter to the editor and a pilot a few weeks ago where a gentleman from Refugio had a flat tire and was having some issues. And according to his letter to the editor, the county road and bridge crew, drainage crew, so I was and talked to David, knows where his employees, they actually stopped and helped the gentleman. He was very appreciative of it, and he even offered some compensation to him, but they were just so glad to help him. And David, who were those gentlemen? But I think it's important to recognize the public doesn't realize our employees are more than, they're out there helping the public in a lot of different ways. And I think that's important to recognize.
Okay, Richard Martin is the crew chief that made the decision to do that. This was his drainage crew. I'm not sure all who's on it. Denny, Donald, and somebody else.
I know it's flexible changes sometimes.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
But pass on our thanks, if you will.
I will do that.
Appreciate
Absolutely.
them doing
Yeah.
that.
And when Richard told me he had done it, he was like, "Is it okay if I do that?" And I'm like, "Absolutely. Please help the public anytime you can." And so I was proud of him for that initiative.
Thanks for supporting them doing that.
Yeah.
While you're up there, David, I want to recognize the folks that are doing the drainage in my precinct over in one of my most interesting areas with Jocelyn and Murphy and down that area. That's area down there that really does have a drainage issue, and I'm really excited about the amount of time that they're taking with each of the individual landowners to handle their entrances and everything, because it's gotten to a point down there with that development and everything that's getting a little bit more and more difficult to get into property, and the guys, I mean, our contractors are just doing a bang up job. I mean, they're moving and really doing a great job.
Right.
And they give a good presentation. They're dressed well. I've a couple of times dealt with them on specific individual people that had questions, and they've handled it very well. I hadn't always told them what they wanted to hear, but told them what they would do, and the citizens were very appreciative. So thank them for me.
I'll do that. This is one of the CDBG-DR grants. LCR is the contractor for it. David Morgan is the inspector for it. But yeah, they're doing a good job.
All right, thank you.
I have something.
Yes, ma'am.
I received this letter over the weekend from Gulf Shore seniors, and they were letting me know, because it's in my precinct, I suppose, that there will be new construction for senior apartments going up at 1400 FM 3036, and that there will be an opportunity for the public to provide written comments or to attend hearings coming in this spring. And it's under the jurisdiction of the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs, public comment on multifamily finance division. And I will give this information to Tracy with the judge's office, so that if anyone is interested in weighing in on this project, they can do so. Anyway, so 49 apartments approximate for low-income tenants.
Just a question, are those the same people that built the Saltgrass apartments? I know,
I
because they were talking
don't
about.
believe so.
Okay.
They don't refer to that group.
Okay.
All right, we'll head over to reports about items of community interest. No action will be taken. Anybody got anything about the community?
How about the deal that you did over
Yep.
the weekend?
Oh, I will give a report as a community member. So this weekend, Saturday, we had a kickball tournament to raise money for Project Graduation. Project Graduation is an organization of parents, they have seniors, and it's actually an event. At the end of graduation, after you throw your hat up, you go to the commons and they lock the doors and you're there all night playing games, eating food. Project Graduation raises a lot of money to give scholarships, to buy a lot of what do you call it, door prizes. I believe my daughter got a blanket and something else that she was excited to get. Stuff to get them ready for college. But anyway, at the kickball tournament, we're able to raise over $3,600. And we'll have a lot of events throughout the year. I think Oyster Fest, we have a big, we raise a lot of money selling a gumbo. So looking forward to that. But yeah, there are 6 teams. The seniors, they had a team. They didn't win. The old folks won. Older folks won. But it was a lot of fun, and I'm still sore. Yep. And since Amanda's not here, I guess we're not going to go to closed session. No closed session. All right. Well, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Got a motion, got a second.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dubnik,
Aye.
Judge Garcia.
Aye. Passes. We are adjourned.